What's happening, everyone, and welcome to Grosvenor Sport. Today we're going to be talking about the opening of the season. The first 3 games have been played. We now know what certain teams are looking like. The only place to start here, though, is with Mr. Lee Judges off the back of a humbling at Anfield. What do you reckon, Lee? Are you going to be the bridesmaids again?
It's a tough one. After what I see on Sunday, I'm afraid I am a little bit worried about that, because I felt that was an opportunity to make a little bit of a statement. Liverpool weren't at their best. You know, I've seen Bournemouth rattle them. I've seen Newcastle rattle them with 10 men. And we went there, and I think, if I'll be really honest, we was too cautious. I looked at our bench, 5 sort of attacking options on the bench. Could you have fitted one of them in there, Mikel? I think you could have. And I felt, if I'll be really honest, I felt we was a little bit too cautious. And I think if we are to win this league, we've got to open it up a little bit for our striking options that we've got now. Like, I understand that maybe we've been a little bit cautious when we didn't have the tools. He's got the tools now, got to be a little bit more open. He's saying that Liverpool weren't, but the difference between why people were criticising Arsenal and not Liverpool, they've won it.
Yeah,
they've won it. We need to go that one little step further. So what is going to get us over that is a little bit more adventure, I think, in our team. So I'm actually looking at Mikel and I'm thinking, right, you've got to step up now and really show.
Very early in the season to demonstrate that level of cowardice.
Well, yeah, listen, I'm going to say, I won't say cowardice, but what I will say is it wasn't great on the back of the Man United game as well, where we was a little bit defensive as well. Now, at the end of the day, 5-0 against Leeds, that's a different thing. But when you're playing these teams, you know, you've got to give, listen, I'm not saying that you go gun-ho against a team like Liverpool. You've got to give them respect. But, like, you've got the best defence in the league. You're putting 3 midfield players in to shore it up and all that. Like, I don't think
and
you
look
need
what
to
Semenyo had done.
But it was a solid tactic. You know, like keep it tight. You know, if you can take 4 points from those games, you draw
100%.
away and you get 3 at home.
that last year,
No, but that's the plan. But that tactic of like kind of keep it tight and not do anything, and then throw all the attacking players on at the end. I've seen loads of managers do that, and I'll be honest, and I know it's maybe we're over-egging it a bit, but I've said it, Stoke used to do that. Roy Hodgson teams do that. And look, Arteta's better manager than all of them. He's got loads better players, but I do think you have to be...
That's the
issue.
The Arsenal manager shouldn't be going into a game hoping it to be 0-0 at 70 minutes.
No, listen, that's the issue. I've seen, like, look, Everton will come to Anfield as their next game and play a defensive tactic, like, you know. Bournemouth will, like, you know what I mean? Bournemouth, to a certain degree, done that. But what I'm saying is we're Arsenal, you know what I mean? We've spent a lot of money this time. We should, I'm saying be defensive, be cautious and all that, like, but put some plan in it where you're going to attack.
Do you know what, as well, Paul, do you see what you said there? I think under normal circumstances, you know, if Arsenal had won the league at some point in the last 5 years, and then you say that they go to Anfield and they're looking for a point or whatever, and you go, that's fair enough, you get 4 points. Is there anything in this theory? Because they haven't won it for 2 decades, they need to go to your home and go, watch this. Like, you go and you beat them. We went, when they were invincible, the first time we'd won the league for 50 years, we went to Highbury and Joe Cole battered Sol Campbell. It was a statement.
So Pep Guardiola got his pants pulled down at Anfield a few times,
exactly,
but ultimately would go on and win the league. But he changed to that point where he started to play more defensively at Anfield, so he wasn't getting undressed. So I absolutely get the logic, but for me, that game should have probably been a draw, because I've seen that happen time and time again, where you get a big clash at the start of the season and you're hoping it's going to tell you something about what happens. And the fact that Liverpool have come away with 3 points actually that's huge. It's huge that they've done that. But I just don't think, I know that Liverpool weren't great, but they were the only team who felt like they were actively trying to figure it out to get better. They were trying to undo what Arsenal were doing to try and get the better of them. I don't feel like Arsenal had that. They were hoping that Eze and Odegaard would pull a few strings and some magic would happen.
The only thing is that it's so early in the season, right? And going into it, I think we'd seen Liverpool win the first 2 games in not a convincing manner. You'd seen Arsenal in a couple of games, all right, you take Leeds out of it because they've just come up and you weren't convincing against Man United. So we felt like it would tell us more where both teams are at, because they're the ones going...
And do you know what it did exactly that.
Well, it tells you that Liverpool...
It told us that Arteta was scared of the first
and that's what I'm saying. So in terms of it should have... In isolation in 90 minutes, takes the boss lie out of it. I know that was the reason you won. It was, like you said, it should have been a draw, right? You both done it to kind of cancel each other out. Ekitike's been flying the last couple of games against Saliba not, against Mosquera and Gabriel. He had a hard time. Gyökeres got locked up by Konate and Van Dijk. It was a cancellation. But what I did take from it, from a neutral, exactly what you're saying, is that like, I feel like Arteta is going to have to be the one with what's going on at Arsenal to actually change what's going on. Because I think they're a team in his image and they look scared.
There's a point in that game, and we could go on to tactics and everything like that, and this is what worries me about Arteta. There's a point of that game, I don't know when it is, 70 minutes, 75 minutes, we can win this game or we can draw this game. What are we going to do? And Arteta's philosophy is, I tell you what, no,
don't lose. Yeah,
but there was that point of that game where you can go.
When you're Arsenal, the challenger,
got to go and try and win it.
It's like, you know, when boxers fight. If you're the reigning champion, you draw the fight, you probably get the victory.
Yeah.
The challenger has to do the knockout.
You have to
go to Anfield and knock them out.
And that was the thing there. I felt, if I'll be really honest, I think that Slot, because he's won it, felt that he could just tinker with it a little bit more. The pressure may be off of it a little, but I felt that Arteta just thought, do you know what? We're taking a draw.
Are we doing too much? It's the third game of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Are we doing too much?
The footy's not really started.
Like, Gyökeres got to get going. Eze's only just got there.
It doesn't work like that
You've
anymore.
got Saka and Odegaard to come back in.
It doesn't work like that anymore. Since Klopp and Guardiola's brilliance, and now to win the league, and I think it'll be even higher this year, but to win the league generally over the last decade, since Klopp and Guardiola were brilliant, it was 90 points minimum. They hit 97 points, didn't win the league.
Yeah.
So the season's well and truly running because you don't have an opportunity to drop points anymore.
And they're 3 out of 3 as well.
If you were winning the league with 75 points, of course, you ease into the season. The season doesn't really kick in. It doesn't matter. You have to hit a minimum, absolute minimum of 90 points. It's game on. And so looking at it overall, we've focused on that one game. You've seen your team play 3 fixtures. Overall, how are you feeling? Did you predict before a ball was kicked for Arsenal to win the league this year?
Yeah.
Do you still believe that?
No.
That's the spirit.
But the question is, Lee, you didn't get 3 points, but did you get any more songs off as well?
Yeah, they did.
We didn't get nothing off it.
Yeah, they nicked my Freze.
What I take on it is I do believe if Arsenal change, and I do believe it and go a little bit more expansive, I do think we've got a great chance of winning.
I think he's terrified. I think Arteta's terrified of the Arsenal fans. I think he's terrified of having something so big happens that you'll jump down as
Paul, he don't give a crap about no fans. He's not arrogant, right? Well, yeah, he does have a bit of that, but I think he believes in his philosophy so much. That's why we're seeing this stubborn nature of not coming out of it. Because otherwise the pressure. I don't think he's buckling to fans. Like, you remember when they did this? I'm going to play Havertz up front. I don't care what they say. I'm gonna keep playing Saka for this amount of games. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna play Marino. I don't care what the fans say. I just think he just believes in himself so much. He won't move from it.
He has got a very, very hardcore fans that back him whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's come. I don't know how that's come. Like, cult figures or whatever you want to call them or whatever. I've not seen like that with Man United, Chelsea. You know what I mean? Like, Klopp definitely got it because he earned it and all. I don't see why he's got that.
Yeah,
but he has got it. He has got it. So the Arsenal fans will back him to the hilt.
Okay, so Arsenal, 3 games in, we kind of explored it. Paul, it's been 100% record for you. You're top of the league. What do you think overall, from what you've seen?
Go now.
Yeah, carry on.
Don't do this too much. Let him say it.
But for example, has it been as good as you thought it would be? Like, were you worried about what happened against Bournemouth?
No. I was worried that we'd lose something because of how much churn there's been in the squad. I thought we'd lose the fine margins. So actually, the fact that we've managed to find ways to win is one of those things where I think we're going to get better. Is my take on that. And I think. Listen, let's have it right before developing back into the banter side of things. One of their friends died in the summer, and those players had to come back and play football, had to come back and train the days after it had happened. They've got every excuse in the world to not turn up and be 100% on it in the early days of the season. They've managed to win, and then people even went, well, they can't defend, and then they went and kept a clean sheet against Arsenal. So I think they're unbeaten, and I think there's loads of ways in which they can still get better. Now, they do have to do that, and that's where the process comes. But yeah, I didn't expect this to be this exciting so far as well.
The one thing what impressed me about Liverpool on the weekend was they've been very, very vulnerable at set pieces. They was fantastic in their defending of our corners and everything like that. So, that when it mattered, they defended properly.
The big impressive thing about Liverpool is that, like I say, when you're off it or you're not quite there, and you look at them and you think, I don't pay them too much respect. They could be got at. And I look at it and I go, but now already, even though it's 3 games, I look at the rest of the league and I go
really badly and score 4 goals.
And I'm like, that's going to be enough again. I think they even got good yet.
Think about United at the peak. I mean, look at the Szoboszlai thing. He was playing number 10 for Liverpool last season. They played him at right back and he's winning games from there. That is such a peak Man United thing where you're like, no, he's made a mistake there. You can't play him at that position. That's stupid.
Judges and Paul will never be able to play that. He plays man of the match. Yeah.
And they just find a way. And I think the most scary thing for the rest of the league is like what you just said there. What's happened from now? They haven't even clicked yet.
So obviously Paul's the cat that got the cream. You've had a mare.
Yeah.
You've been dreadful.
Yeah.
It's over, isn't it?
Well,
it's Amorim.
Weirdly,
just tell the truth.
I don't. Honestly, we're not winning the league this year. I don't. I've said many times.
It's over.
I don't believe he's going to be the man to turn it around. I don't. I hope I'm proved wrong. But after Grimsby, that was me. Like, I know you can say, only then? Listen, we all get to...
No, you have a line in the sand, don't you?
One thing I don't do is like, I want to know this first and I want my manager out really quickly. And if you talk about patience, mate, finish 15th. Most Man United fans are like, listen,
do you know the
get
stat?
him players.
Did you see that stat where he'd accrued less points than games he'd managed?
Yeah. Listen, there's the Gary Neville one, there's the Neil Warnock one.
28 points, 29 games
It's shocking.
in charge. It was like, are you joking?
It's shocking. And then listen, I don't like saying things for just the effect of like, let us get another manager and love all the drama. Like, no, I want to stick at something. I don't want to keep changing manager all the time and I want to give time.
You just can't keep saying, but like Ferguson had a bad start.
So many managers are going to get so much time that don't deserve it.
Just get someone good.
I can't stand it.
Get someone good to manage
it. And it's like, and the thing is, what happens is now there's infighting amongst the fan base. It's like, I changed my opinion because I was like, Grimsby, I think he ain't going to be able to turn this around. I expected better from you, Flex. I can't believe you've done this after 2 games.
So you shouldn't expect better from me. Have you not met me?
Hang on a minute. Yeah, exactly that as well. But it's not 2 games. The manager's nearly had 50 games. What we keep doing as United fans is going, last season didn't happen. And you don't get to like say, the storm, him saying the storm's coming. Oh my God. Yeah. We've lapped it up and gone, well, you know what? We finished 15th, but he did say this would probably happen. So it's fine.
Do you know this kind of manager?
Sorry, but in what world does a manager come in and go, we're rubbish, right? And we're going to get worse. And we're going to continue to get worse. And everyone goes, we did. We got worse.
So he's right.
He's right.
So and then he said, but then what's happened is that when we beat Villa for no reason at all at the end of the season, after we lost the Europa League, we just happened to beat Villa to mess up their thing for no reason. He was like, what I can tell you now is the good times are coming. So we've started the league, and listen, I took the positive.
I'm going into this 100-metre race, Rory, and I'm going to finish last.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish last.
And then you do finish last, and I go, well done.
Yeah, give me
I got that right.
But then football, but here's the thing, right? So that's my opinion on whether I think he'll turn it around. And what I won't do, I'm not that type of fan that's like, every game that goes past where he hasn't been sat, every game we might win, I'm like, but it's still not for me. I've said my opinion. I want to see Man United win. I want to see the turnaround of all turnarounds. But when you actually look at the start now after 3 games of how it's gone, well, you've got Pep Guardiola, mate, who's lost 2 out of the first 3, and that's the next game that we play, and we've got a good chance of beating them. They're like 12. All of a sudden, things can change pretty quickly, and Ineos are not going to sack him.
But the problem with Amorim is that you've seen him now, and you see what he does, and he's brought those new players in. The Arsenal game, he was there going, oh, good chance, good. And Bermo runs past 2 lads. He's got 5 Arsenal defenders in front of him and he shoots wide and goes, oh, that's a chance. It's not a chance. That's the absence of a system and a good player taking it into his own hands. And that's so it all coming up. We're coming up on a year of him, and that's it. It's just more good lads getting paid good money to try and win football
sometimes
matches
when you don't have a dog
against the manager's wishes.
When you say a line in the sand, you're saying a line in the sand. The line in the sand with his Grimsby penalties, and he's sitting there, can't even watch him. That to me
the
tells
stature
you.
hiding.
But you know what?
But
I'll be honest. Worse than that is if a manager's got superstition, he never watched penalties. We would have won the penalties. That's not my biggest thing. My biggest thing is Mate, it's Grimsby. I still see 5 defenders on this pitch. Like, it's Grimsby, or it's Fulham away, the game's going away from us. You're bringing on Harry Maguire and Aidan Heaven. They're bigger problems to me than like, all right, you know what? They're the things that optically don't look good.
It's so obviously over. Like, when you don't have a dog in a fight, it's nothing to do with me. I just love football and love watching. It's so finished. Like, he's so clearly not the man for the job.
I'm with you, Rory.
Like, you've got the two better performers of last year, Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, both playing out of position to accommodate this nonsense system. Yeah. Like, you know, these system managers have a dogmatic approach to a system, and everyone kind of goes with it, though. Everyone goes, oh, you can't sign the best player in the world because of the system.
He's got a picture of Antonio Conte on the Chelsea sideline, 3 at the back, like a shrine.
One example ever. Mate, it's like that geezer last year at Southampton. He was getting battered every week, but like saying how well they were doing next year. It's like, what are you talking about? You're battered every week.
But also, it isn't just the system as well, it's how you implement it. Because I look at Oliver Glasner, he plays the same system, mate. Palace look all right to me. And you can't tell me is Will Hughes better than Kobbie Mainoo?
Yeah,
he plays next to Adam.
Is that the bar, is it?
No, I'm not saying that we want to be Palace, but what I'm saying is like, you know, there's good, if you implement the style and players buying into it and you can get it right, you can get it right. But this whole thing of like, I'm not going to move from it, I am what I am. And then for me, what really made me confused as a fan to be like, what's going on here, is obviously the recency of post-match Grimsby. So what's happened is he's gone, you know, he's spoken in anger and said, well, basically, you can't change 22 players. So, i.e., you've got to change me. We'll get to the national break and we'll see. My player spoke really loud for me. And then, okay, you've calmed down, and 2 days later, you're going, yeah, I said that, but I didn't actually mean it, you know. And then against Spurs, when we lost the final, I was in the presser. He goes, I'll leave and I won't take my severance package. I won't take my pay up.
He's talking himself out.
That's what I'm saying. So that doesn't
to get sacked, so he can.
It's not even necessarily that. It's like this highly sort of emotionally unstable manager, the guy. That's just how he is. But that's not. When you're the manager of Man United, you can't come out and be like, yeah. And again, what some fans are saying to me is, oh, come on, Flex. In all jobs, sometimes we don't want to be there.
Yeah, but it's not the same as being an accountant, is it?
It's a Man United manager.
When people do that. I hate that. In my job, I'll tell you what. Do you remember when Rooney said he had to eat pasta early and got annoyed? I'd eat all the pasta in the world. Not really the point, is it, mate? Nobody cares if you're a hod carrier.
And then we get this thing where, again, and this is why I'm so done already, I'm so drained, the infighting amongst the fans of, you're not a real fan if you won't just lap this up, be 15th, there's a bit of a continuation, and you ain't got the stomach for it because you won't just, a real fan just backs the manager no matter what, and then we start categorising fans. It's a load of crap.
All that being said, right here today, you're above Manchester City in the league. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, they're relaxing. We're talking about that.
Season,
mental. And that's why football's a weird game, because they go, wait, you beat Burnley, if you go on the run, you beat Chelsea and you beat Man City all of a sudden.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Mate, we're going into the break saying we're only 2 points off Arsenal. Stuff like this.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know it does all happen quickly, and that's how it's gone for us.
Yeah.
Like, we've ended up in a situation where we've like battered West Ham and then got really lucky in our 2 home games. Yeah. Like 2 of the worst decisions. You remember that Eze? I know the Eze one was right, but it was ridiculous when he scored that free kick against Palace for Palace, and obviously that Fulham one was a disgrace. But we have got the points on the board, you know.
Apparently, the Arsenal goal should have been disallowed because they were standing in the wall, weren't they? Like, you know.
Yeah. There we go. You were robbed. You were robbed.
Oh God! Add it to the big book of Arsenal injustices. So here we go.
What I'm saying is, like, that free kick, like, they're going to give it sometimes and not. Like, Chelsea got lucky there, and the decision on Saturday. Well,
can we talk about Man City? I tried my best to show one in there. I really want to talk about how they are awful at buying footballers.
Is this the beginning of the end?
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Dave, there's a theory I've got, and it's called the crappening, right? And what happens is that you've got brilliant players, and then you buy other ones, and you just presume they're going to be as good as the ones you've got because you had those players, and then they take over, and they're not as good, and you don't realise it until it's too late that your squad's gone from being world class to crap. The crappening, and that's what they've done. Position after position.
Is that a real thing, or is that your thing?
Paul Machin theory.
Yeah. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie in the waiting.
I like that theory.
It's not bad, is it?
But
Haaland is the only limited examples where they've either matched what they had or are maybe improved a little bit. But Aguero was a top Premier League goal scorer. You know what I mean? Or actually, he improved on nothing because they did a season without a striker. But even like Donnarumma, everyone's going Donnarumma.
He's not Edison.
Not as good as Edison. he's overrated. He's a good goalkeeper,
Yeah, he is.
but he's not in that
And
top
he's not
bracket
going to
of
be able to play it away. Like, isn't the whole thing about a Pep Guardiola
It's more
system?
that, yeah.
Like Luis
'Cause he's a top
Enrique
keeper in
didn't
world
want
football,
Donnarumma because he's not good enough with his feet.
stylistically, Is it that?
He's
He
a
won't be there
commentator.
next year. He
You
won't
don't
be
think?
there now. I'd be surprised if he lasts the whole season.
Or do you think
Guardiola?
Trafford will still be
Yeah,
number one?
I think like with Pep last season, do you ever look at like last season? They were poor last season, weren't they? What did he do to coach that team to get them better? He didn't. Come January, he spent £200 million. Like, you know what I mean?
That's his version of coaching.
And he's done. What's he done this? He's gone and spent a load more money. He's still not improving them. And I just think like the goalkeeping situation. He's always had this goalkeeper that plays out and everything like that. Even Arteta's obsessed with it. Like, you know, all of a sudden he's gone back to a different way. So I think maybe someone in there saying, "Well, he ain't going to be here." We're getting.
But they have got. I mean, if you look at Ray and Shirky, Ait Nuri, and Reinders, I'll be honest. I do think they're good signings.
Yeah,
I think
look
Ait
who
Nuri-
they're replacing now.
They are.
Reinders is replacing De Bruyne.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but Reinders is a multi-functional midfielder, and I do think he's a very good player. They have when you get someone like De Bruyne,
though.
you can't. What can you do? Like De Bruyne is De Bruyne. You're never going to get a like for like. So when Mo Salah's finally done it at Liverpool, what you're gonna do? You have to find the next guy, right? And they're never going to replicate.
Arsenal still
what
looking.
they did.
We're
Arsenal
still
still
looking.
looking.
You've
Right?
got to go and buy the best that's available. They did that with Haaland, and that was the right thing to do. Since then, like this summer, they wanted Wirtz, didn't get him, and they get Cherky. Cherky's a good player.
He's a good player.
But he's not. You're not shopping at the top bracket anymore.
But do you know what though? I'd be honest. In terms of ability, for Shirky for 40 million versus Wirtz by the end of the
But it's not about,
season.
it's not about is it better value for money. It's about is he a better player.
Yeah, and Guardiola doesn't do that.
No,
Guardiola
he wants
doesn't
the best
manage
players.
with the second or third best players.
He
in
has
the
to have the
position.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very. It is
Long may it continue. Good.
It is very interesting.
What about
Overall,
Chelsea? Chelsea
overall,
challenging you. You're up there. You're second in the league.
We're clearly the best team in the country, apart from the top two, and like we exist in our own league. We exist in our own league.
They're
we're in
clearly the
purgatory.
third best team in the league.
No, we're clearly better than anybody else.
Are you clearly better?
Really, like, you should have.
100%.
You should have 9 points.
Are you
At the
clearly
start
better
of the
than
year, you should have
Newcastle?
9 points.
We're clearly better than everybody in the league, apart from the two that are better than us.
You should be for the money you spent.
But we're not spending money to build. Like we spoke about this. We spoke about this on the previous video that people can watch. We're signing Garnacho when we don't have a goalkeeper. You know, we're spending a lot of money, but we're not spending a lot of money to make the best team.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
But I think what we've done in the past 12 months, which is good, is this time last year you would have put Group Chelsea a million miles away from Arsenal and Liverpool, but you would and a million miles away from City as well, to be fair. And you would have put us with Villa, maybe Man United, maybe
been the
Tottenham,
better of that
maybe
bunch.
And what we've done now is we've left all that lot behind, and we're now.
I wouldn't
the best,
say you've left that all
including City.
behind.
I think so.
I think it's too early to
We'll
say
finish
that.
above City in the league.
Chelsea will finish above City in the
We'll finish
league.
above City in the league.
City third or fourth.
We'll finish
third
above
or
City.
fourth.
That isn't about us being good, by the way. I think they lost 9 out of 11 games last year. I think that if something like that happens again, I feel like we'll be fine. So we'll see. But there we have it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, will you do us a massive favour? Click subscribe. It really does help us out. We'll be back with another video very soon, and we look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comment section below. In a bit.